All right, people, I want to take a moment to go over these two problems from the EOC review. And so I did this with third block. So third block, if you understood it, then don't worry about it. But I did not go over this with fourth block. So it says that the vertices of a rectangle are located at these points. What is the area of the rectangle? So you would have graphing paper and you would graph these points, and some of you all not some of you all, but I think everybody pretty much will graph these points, right? If you didn't have graphing paper, you'll do this. Because it really doesn't matter. We just know that the vertices are at these points, and this is not drawn to scale, of course, because 5, 0 will not be right there. And more than likely, if we could graph this and it looked like this, there would be no reason to even do this problem because we could just count horizontally and vertically. So there wouldn't be any point in doing that. But since we have a rectangle, we now need to find the distance between the points. And so if you drew this and they were diagonals, then you can use the Pythagorean theorem and find the distance between the points, or you can use the distance formula. I am going to use my shortcut that I said that I use in class, and I'm going to find the slope because the distance formula, d is equal to the square root of x sub 2, I didn't write an x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared, which is simply this slope is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So basically, when I do this, I think I confuse some of y'all when I do this. So I'm just going to use the distance formula, whatever. Okay, so yeah, I'll just use the distance formula. So I know that the distance between, I need to find this side right here, and then I can find this side right here, and I know that these two sides are equal, and these two sides are equal. So I don't really need to we're not finding a perimeter. It's asking to find the area of the rectangle anyway. So, if I asked to find a perimeter, we would add them all up. So distance formula is going to be my x's minus each other. So I have negative 2 minus 1 squared plus negative 4 minus 2 squared. And this is going to give me d is equal to, we could put all this in the calculator active, but this gives me negative 3, so it's going to be 9, 3 squared. Negative 3 squared is 9, plus, I drew this big radical, that's going to be 6, so that's going to be 36, and so I get d is equal to the square root of 45, which is approximately square root of 45, approximately 6.7. All right, then I do the same thing here. I need to find the distance between this area right there. So I say d is equal to the square root of 0. Well, I'm doing y sub 2. So we'll do x sub 2. 5 minus 1 squared plus 0 minus 2 squared. And I get d is equal to 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4 squared is 16. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. So I get this, d is equal to the square root of 20, which is approximately 4.5. So clearly it's not drawn to scale. So I'm saying this was 4.5 and this is 6.7. So, clearly it's not drawn to scale, but we get the point. It's a rectangle with these vertices. And so we do 4.5 times 6.7, and we get 30.15, so the answer is B. And then the last problem. Oh, went too far. It says, come on, man. All right, let's do this. What is the midpoint of the longest side of the triangle with vertices 1, 4, 3, 4, and 3, 6? So, again, I'm going to do the same thing. If you had a graph paper, you would put this on graph paper. I know y'all would. And some of y'all would be like, man, I can tell which one is the longest side. But since I don't path graph paper, I'm just going to use the distance formula to find the longest side. 1, 4 right here, 3, 4 right here, and then 3, 6 right here. The good thing about it, if this is 3, if it was 3, 4, and 3, 6, then it would be a vertical line, but whatever. We'll deal with that later. All right, so the distance between this side, we'll do this side first. 1. So we have D is equal to the distance of 1 minus 3 squared plus 4 minus 4 squared. And so we get D is equal to the square root of 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So that's 4. And 4 minus 4 is 0. It's 4. So D is equal to 2. All right. So that's 2. And then the distance between this side right here, it's going to be the square root of 3 minus 3, which is squared. I was saying 0 in my head, plus 4 minus 6 squared, which is going to be D is equal to 3 minus 3 is 0. And then 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. So this is going to be 2 as well. Looks like we're working on an isosceles or equilateral triangle. And then I'm finding this last distance right here. And we have D is equal to 1 minus 3 squared plus 4 minus 6 squared. Get D is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. 1 minus 3 is negative 2 squared. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 6 is negative 2 squared, which is 4. It's clearly that this is the longest side. So D is approximately the square root of 8, which is greater than the square root of 4, square root of 4. So this side is the longest side. We don't need to find the longest side. We just need to find the midpoint of the longest side. And the midpoint formula is, midpoint is equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, comma, this is auto order pair, y sub 1, so used to writing y sub 1 first. Y'all, if you haven't noticed right now, the order of y sub 1 and y sub 2 doesn't matter as long as you keep them in the same order. So if you subtract your y sub 1s or your x sub 1 minus x sub 2 and then y sub 1 minus y sub 2, you get the same thing. But, you know, we give you that order, whatever. All right, so I'm using the midpoint down here. So I have 1 plus, this is the x's I'm using, 1 plus 3 over 2, comma, 4 plus 6 over 2. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 over 2 is 2. And then 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 over 2 is 5. I get C, which will be 2, 5. All right, so this is the shortest video ever, right? 8 minutes, and some of y'all didn't even have to watch the last one, and hopefully this makes sense. We have some work to do. I did little quizzes with my kids today for rotations, and found out that people didn't remember how to use elimination, and I kind of skipped it today. You know, just stuff y'all don't remember. It's been another beast mode production, if I can spell beast mode. All right, I'm out.